Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to today's math lesson. Before we begin, please make sure that you have the following materials with you: math workbook, a pencil, your attribute blocks, whiteboard, and marker. If you don't have those materials with you right now, pause and please go get them. Okay, so today's lesson for Chapter 9 is composite shapes. And composite means when you take other material or items, put them together to make one of something else. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make shapes using other shapes. And we are continuing to work to learn answers that will help us answer this question: how can I recognize two-dimensional shapes and equal shares? Okay, so here's some math warm-up. We're going to write the number 3 ways, and we haven't done our base 10 for quite some time. They would like us to write how many 10s and 1s. So get your whiteboard, all right, and let's count together how many 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 10s. Oops, rather large 6. And how many 1s? 4 1s. Okay. Now, that's how many 10s and 1s. What does 6 10s equal? Do you remember how to count each one of these? By what? By 10, that's right. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So now that number is 60 plus what? Plus 4. All right. And 60 plus 4 equals, pause, figure that out, come back to check your answer. If you wrote 64, you are correct. 60 plus 4 equals 64. Okay, so let's continue on with our next warm-up. What are the names of the shapes with 4 sides and 4 vertices? All right, just name the ones that are with 4 sides and 4 vertices. Pause and name them, point to them, and say their name now. That's right. Shapes with 4 sides and 4 vertices were trapezoid or rectangle. We are not naming these because they did not ask for those. Those only have 3 sides and 3 vertices. All right, let's look here. Which shape does not have 4 sides and 4 vertices? Now, I'm not going to give the choices here because this is a good time for you to pause and practice, all right, and find the name. All right, pause. All right, and the solution is, which shape does not have 4 sides and 4 vertices? It is a triangle. Okay. All right, so now let's look here for investigate. How can you use two-dimensional shapes to make a composite shape? All right, so as an example, remember I said we would take different shapes, two-dimensional shapes, to make yet another one? Well, for this one, I am going to use triangles. So here are 3 triangles. Now, yes, I know you only have 2 triangles in your bag. However, that will not prevent you from being able to make this shape. If you would like to lay 2 triangles on your whiteboard, all right, and follow along, this would be a good way to practice making a composite shape. From these triangles, I am going to make a trapezoid. So first I'm going to take this one and place it right here. And then I'm going to take this one and place it right next to it. Now, if you were to look at that, where would my third triangle go? Now, for you could just draw a line across and you would see it. But I'm going to actually place it, all right, so you can see. All right, so If you had it, you could slide it right in here. All right, the best that I can. And there it is. All right, there's my trapezoid. So once again, let's see if it fits over this. And there it is. Okay. So that's the trapezoid. So this is a composite shape. This is not. This is a composite shape because I took 3 other shapes, put it together, and it now resembles a trapezoid. So let's continue on with our lesson. All right. And here we go. I would like you to please turn to page 661. All right. And you can pause the video until you get to that page. Okay, for this page, all right, they would like us to use our pattern blocks to make each new shape. Then you're going to trace the pattern blocks to show your work. Write how many pattern blocks you used. Okay, so they are showing a trapezoid. All right, so I'm going to take, let's see, are these smaller? Okay. I'm going to take my pattern blocks, here's my trapezoid, and I'm going to lay it. Let's see, I wonder if my other pattern blocks are smaller. That would be more helpful. Let's see. Yes, thank goodness. Okay, so this one I'm going to put over here. All right, so I'm going to take the smaller one like that. Now that does not look like my shape, does it? No. Now hopefully your pattern block may fit inside of that. So I'm going to try to get another one, but now I need to turn it around. Okay. Oops, a little uneven there. And put it there. Now, if I were to just have one block and lay it there, all right, I could just trace it along the bottom. All right, so for instance, I could go from here to here. Okay, and notice how they look very much like these two. I know my line's not perfectly straight, but it still gives us the idea. So before I continue with the next one, I'm going to look and say I use 2 pattern blocks, 2 trapezoids make, okay, a hexagon. Okay. Now they want to know. Whoop, that was not good. Sorry. They wanted to know how many. Let me get that off of there because that's annoying to me. Thank you for understanding. Okay, better. All right. They want to know how many triangles make a trapezoid. Okay, so to show that. Let's see, I know there's a way I can kind of put this in my little trash can here. Maybe not. Oh, I know why. Because I have to be on the shape. Oh my goodness. It can never just be easy. All right. I'm going to put this in here because I'm done. All right. Now, how many triangles? So, yes, I know we did them before, but I like to try it again. And this time I'm going to do it as if I only have 2 like you have, so you can see. All right, so I have one here, and I'm going to put the other one here. All right. And then what I would do with my pencil, okay, is I would just draw across, okay, have it like this. Then I'm going to take my writing tool and I'm going to just connect from one point to another, all right? So that, again, not going well today. All right, how many triangles do I have? 1, 2, 3. So here I would draw the number, right, the number 3, okay? For how many triangles there are. Right there, 3. Okay? All right, let's turn to our next page. Okay, so here's our see and show. It says you can put together shapes to make a new shape. This new shape is called a composite shape. So look at the way we come together, okay? So here, all right, you have your little parallelogram, okay? And a triangle. Let's look. See? Look at the way we came together. All right. Now, for these, I just want to let you know that when they say use two, that's all you can use. All right? You can't add more to it or anything. Now, use two pattern blocks to make each shape and draw a line to show your model. Circle the blocks you used. Okay, so here we see it's a rectangle, right? So I'm going to use my pattern blocks. I'm going to try this and try this. All right, so two of my squares do make the rectangle, right? All right, so what I'm going to do is, and I always like, if I'm not sure, this one we've been doing this shape for other things when we were using the blocks, when we talked about sides and vertices. So this one was probably a little easier than some of the other questions may be, but I always like to try different ones. This one, we knew that our two squares would equal the rectangle. But what they do want you to do here, don't forget, is to draw the line where you put your shape. All right, and it was about here. That's all you would have to do. All right, so let's check it. All right, and that's what they would like you to do. All right, so now for number 2, use 2 pattern blocks, only 2. All right, why don't you pause it, try moving some of the shapes around yourself and see, and you can only use 2. That's the key. All right, pause it and solve it now. All right. And the reason I stress only 2 is because I have had boys and girls in the past saying, but look, I can take this, and I can take this, all right, and I can make it look that way. Oh, let's move this up. And I'd say, yes, you're correct, but how many blocks did you use? And they went, oh, are there 2 blocks? No, there's 3. We can't use those. So off they go, all right? Okay, so what 2 did you use? Well, I would agree that you could still use this. We know we can't use this. The square, does the square work? No, it doesn't. Makes it look like a house, but not a triangle. Let's try with our trapezoid. There you go. So again, you make sure you put one of your shapes, okay, and then draw the shape. Let's do that. From here to here. For me, I would do that, right? And then when I move I would have a line. Okay, so I would have a line here. Let's check how they showed it. Don't forget to circle the 2 blocks you used either. And there you go. Okay, how can we find which shapes are needed to make composite shapes? Well, what would we do? We could try different shapes, see if it makes, first of all, we have to make sure it's only the quantity. If they said 2, it has to be 2. If they say just make it, but they don't have a quantity, then you can try anything. But first you have to make sure it adheres to how many they say and that it does make the shape that you need. Okay? That's the most, I would say that's probably one of the most important things, is to make sure that if it says 2 shapes, you only have 2 shapes. All right? So that's something that you have to keep in mind according to the directions. All right, here we go. Use 2 pattern blocks to make each shape. Draw a line to show your model and circle the blocks you use. All right, so this is on your own. Pause it and come back to check your work. I like this shape. It reminds me of a fish. Okay, there you go. All right, ready? Next one. Use 2 pattern blocks to make the shape. Circle the blocks and draw the line. And here you go. All right, number 5, same thing. 2 pattern blocks. All right, so for that one, you got to make whatever kind of shape you wanted. Now for this one, the same thing. You are going to take 2 pattern blocks, make whatever sort of shape you like, trace the blocks one at a time, but make sure they're next to each other that show the composite shape. All right, I'll be interested to hear about the shapes that you made. Okay, now, this one says, answer the question, draw lines to show your work. Circle the pattern block that can be used 2 times to make this shape. And make sure you draw the line. Okay, so 1 pattern block, 2 times. Pause and solve. And there you go. Okay, number 8. Answer the question, draw a line to show your work. How many, I wonder what we call that, crescent maybe, does it take to make a circle? And it takes 2. Okay. All right, so if the 4 shapes are combined, what shape do they make? Well, let's answer that first. If we push those together, what shape do you see there? That's right, a circle. Okay. Makes a circle. And how do you know? We know that the shapes, the new shape will not have any sides or vertices. Okay, because when they push it together, right, it is nice and round there, curved, I should say. Okay, boys and girls, I hope you had fun making some different shapes. I'd love to see what you've made for numbers 5 and 6, and we will go over this some more during our math group. See you later. Bye-bye.